Alright guys, Justin with JB Products. Welcome back to the JB Products YouTube channel. Today we're doing an overview and an install for our Skidoo Gen 4, Gen 5 E-Mod bolt kit. Something that's super simple and a part that a lot of people should need, especially if you don't bolt check your sled. You probably should, and you're probably going to find out that you need this. So let's get into today's video. So what this part actually does, well, this bolt kit, it replaces the two self-tapping T40 Torxes that hold the left side member into your E-Mod, the little part that goes behind the clutches. If you don't check those two T40s, they strip out all the time. They're just self-tappers, and you'll lose the threads going in. And if you don't have a replacement kit like this, you're basically junking your E-Mod. And that's a costly repair and one that really sucks to do. So for this cheap kit, we sell them for $5.99 on the website. You can save your E-Mods and run a lot longer, and this is a lot easier to check than just doing two T40 Torxes. So something that's super inexpensive and is gonna save your E-Mod life for way longer than just running the stock hardware. All right, that's kind of all there is to it. Let's do the install guide and we'll show you how to put these things in. For the tools that you're gonna need a T40 Torx, you're gonna need a 13mm socket and a 13mm wrench. You're also gonna need to remove your clutches, so you may need clutch tools to gain access to the left-hand side member. All right, guys, we got clutches off. We're doing the install. This is super straightforward. First off, you're gonna need your T40 Torx here, and we're just gonna go ahead and rip out these two screws. Well, actually, we're gonna do them one at a time just so you guys can see the process, make sure nothing shifts. So we're gonna rip out the top one, we'll put the new bolt in, then we'll rip out the bottom one and put the bottom bolt in. All right, so we got it started in there. We're gonna go ahead and throw the nut on the back side. What's nice about this kit is that these threads on the bolts are the actual thread pitch of the actual threads, I should say, the stock threads. It's not an oversized bolt or anything, but it is longer. And the benefit to that is when you lose the threads of the stock T40 ones, it basically junks out everything. You'd have to go back and run up to a bigger size. You're gonna be buying different hardware anyways. This way, you can replace these screws right away when you have good threads and run it in and run through the threads. And then in the event when you're bolt checking this and you lose those threads, you still have a nut on the back side that's gonna keep everything tight, and you're gonna be able to run it the entire season without any problems. All right, now that we got the top screw in, work on getting this bottom one in here. Switch back to my 13. So with it running through the threads on there, it's gonna go tight with the threads, just like these screws would, and it'll be tight. And then that nut, you'll have to go back and tighten the nut down after, either if you can fit a socket on it, depending on if you have your motor, whatnot's torn apart, or just use a ratcheting 13mm wrench. You can get in there and tighten those nuts down after the fact, but you can run these screws in as long as your threads are still there. You can run the screws in, tighten them down, and you wouldn't even necessarily need to have the nuts on the back. As long as the threads are in here, but that nut will add that extra security and keep everything tight in here, and for sure you'll never lose any part of your E-Mod over on this side. All right, guys, once you get those nuts tightened down the back side of those, you're pretty much good to go. You can throw your clutches back on, you can throw your side panel back on, and you're ready to go ride. So, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down in the comment section below. For sales or service or any other questions, you can contact me through email, get a hold of me through the website. Other than that, make sure you guys have a great day, and we'll see you at the racetrack. See ya.